Good morning, everybody. I hope you're well. So, Mixed Media Wednesday. So today, as I said yesterday, I hope you enjoyed the video yesterday. I absolutely loved making my little. What have I done with them? I don't even know what I've done with them. Oh, there they are. These. They're gorgeous. They're adorable actually. That's how I describe them. They're so delicate and pretty and I just love them. So anyway, I was really pleased with that video and I hope you enjoyed it. Anyway, so I hope you're all doing well. My voice is a bit better today, probably from talking yesterday, so that's a bonus. And with Mixed Media Wednesday, I won't harp on, I will get straight to it. So yeah, as I said, you know, I didn't plan anything actually until this morning, but I have ideas whirling around in my head all the time, and I have my little notebook that I write ideas in. Anyway, so let's just go through my book so far. So what I've noticed in my book, one of the things about mixed media and looking back on your art, and a sketchbook in particular, is if you look back you can consider things that you might have done differently. So, you know, what am I seeing when I look at these two pages? And I'm seeing a lot of control actually, and that is typical of me and my artwork. When, as a fine artist, my work is very controlled, and you know, I wasn't a loosened up type of artist. I was very controlled, very precise. I was doing small pieces generally, sculpture or whatever it was, creating installation. But if you create installation, you're not just going to throw, well, some people do actually, but throw a pile of things on the floor and have it be an installation. You know, there was a lot of precise work involved. And with mixed media, it's nice, it looks pleasant, it's very controlled, and it is what it is. You know, this is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at control here. So this one, these two were, I made these two for, on camera, probably you might not remember, but I made these two for as journal pages, and I love them. I could make them into tags or journal pages or whatever. They're really lovely, but again, it's that control element. And I think when I don't want to talk for too long, but when I did these, I think that's what I had in my mind, you know, because I'd been making journals for a couple of years, and you know, I was making masterboards and things like that. This is what I had in mind when I was making these, probably. You know, I don't know for sure, but that's what I'm thinking. And then this was me trying to attempt something, and it's okay. I mean, it's okay. You know, I could cut it up, I could make something of it. It's a bit looser, which, you know, is taking more of a risk here. So this one, very much more, no, I think this is still very controlled actually when you look at it. So yeah, very controlled. It's interesting, isn't it? This one, I don't know if I showed you this. This is one that I did off camera, using strips of paper and ink behind. So these are drawing inks, yeah, loose watery inks that I used behind, and then I added gesso, and then I added paper, and then I added collage. And I like it, but it is very controlled. There's nothing spontaneous in there apart from the ink underneath. This one, very controlled indeed, as before. These were me messing about last week with some, and I think they're a lot looser. You can still see an element of control in them, and me being pleased with them relates to that control, because, you know, I'm creating something pretty and what I consider interesting, but that is about control. You know, I'm not letting go, I'm just creating something that is controlled. Keep using that word. Now this is something I did on my own in the evening, or well, I think it was, yeah, it was an evening I think I did this. Just check what you can see. So yeah, and I had the paper, weirdly I had the paper like this at one point, and then I moved it to this, and I worked on it as if it was a flowing river and these were water plants, and you know, I wasn't sure what I had in my head. Now, I think it's okay. I think it's pretty. And what I was doing was practicing using some acrylics and some tissue papers. And these are, yeah, some acrylic and tissue paper. So I was laying down layers and layers of tissue paper on top of acrylic, and then creating flower shapes and petal shapes and leaf shapes. And I do quite like it I think it's, you know, it sort of went a bit wrong up here, but here is a much more, I'll just let me do something just to show you, see if I can find something that doesn't distract us. Okay, I'll just use this piece of paper. No, that's too distracting. Oh dear, trying to find a blank piece of paper. Right, let's have a look at that. See, if you look at that, that's pretty. And I could make something of this on its own. I could cut it up into tags, whatever. I could do lots of different things. If you look at it like this, I mean, let's say if you make, oh, actually, that's really pretty. That's even more pretty, I think, in some ways. So it's interesting. As a whole, it doesn't quite work. Something not quite right, but do it like that, and it's really pretty. And like that, because you've got two elements within there. You've got a softer element with the blank space up here, and then a more tighter element in here. So this is what we're looking at when we're looking at our work. We're looking for signals, we're looking for how we work, what we're doing, and how we're doing it. And this is something that is interesting to me, that I started off very tight and controlled, and then I started to let go, but I considered this not very good, but I like this because I'm drawn to my controlled pieces. So this is just something I wanted to explore with you. So you might be the opposite. You might draw, you might be very loose in your work. So I'm just showing you what's going on with me at the moment with my work, and I want to loosen up a little bit. I don't want to be quite so controlled, is what I'm saying. Just going to grab a board or something to work on. I don't know, I should put some, I'll use this for now. This will do. Right. Now, so today what I thought was I'm going to create a background with papers and paint or ink or something. I've got plenty of materials out that I could use and different medium to use, and so yeah, I can use all sorts of different things. So I've got plenty around me to use, and I also want to do some collage work. But on top of that, what I want to explore is adding dried flowers, or if you don't have dried flowers, I have some dried flowers, but I quite like this idea. So where are my papers? Not there. I must have put them down here. What have I done with them? This is so typical of me. I pick something up and then I don't know what I've done with them. Oh, they must be here. Yeah, I think they are. So I have a book of flowers like this. I have many books of flowers, but this one in particular, and I'll show you the book. This one, when I bought it, I thought I can do something with this. It's not what I'm after, but I can do something with it. It doesn't have to be all about pretty images with you know, matte papers. This is a bit glossy, and somebody might turn their nose up at this, but I think we could do something using these. So, and you probably think that too. Got some really nice papers at the back. So I'm really happy to use this, and I'm happy to rip pages out, and I'm happy to fussy cut. So let's just work with this. And on top of that, I have my dried flowers that I can use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start making a background just to put something down on paper. So I'm going to be using gesso and mixed matte medium gel. I'm just going to loosen that lid because my hands are really painful this morning. Right, let me just see what I've got. Hi, I'm back. So I'm just I've got my water next to me. I've got my pens, everything I need, hopefully. Now I'm going to do first of all I'm going to do some layers of paper. So I know this is no, I won't use that. Already I'm being controlled. I'm going to use some of this. This is my favourite matte book. I love this paper. I'm just going to put some matte medium gel here. Oh, the wire's in the way. Sorry, I hope it didn't knock. I'm going to put that down. So I know it's not all the way, but... And then I'll put some on the top as well. And this will just give me a base to work from. Yeah, as I say, I hope you enjoyed the video from yesterday. I really enjoyed doing that. Oh, slow stitch is just lovely, actually, really lovely. I don't want lots of lumps and bumps. I'm going to try and smooth them out a little bit. Yeah. Not sure why I'm getting loads of, probably you're not putting enough on. But this is quite old, this matte medium gel. I've had it a long time, so I don't know if it has an expiry date. There we go. Actually, it's probably because it's quite a... Just going to put something behind there so I don't get on pages below. Oops. Might get it right in a minute. Okay, that's a bit better. I know I've got some on the page below, so... Oh, okay, start again. There we go. Right, so that's my first bit down, and it always feels like a relief when you get a bit down. So now I'm going to put some of this down, and I will put it. So I'm trying not to be controlled. I'm just going to put it down, not think too much about it. I could have used, white glue and water for this. So if that's what you have, use it, because that's just as, that's good. Yeah, you can see what I'm doing is I'm not being very careful. I think I'm trying to be loose, but at the same time trying not to control things too much. Just want to get some paper down quickly because I'm also aware of time, and hour-long videos are not popular, so people keep telling me. Right, let's have a look. What else have we got? Got some book page here. We'll use this. I know people look and see what the writing is. I never do that, but I should maybe, because it might not be. There could be something not very nice on there. I feel like a child again, just, slapping it on. And we're going to cover some of it up, you know, so don't be too precious, is what I'm trying to say. Right, let's have a look. So you can see I'm going for greens here, and I'm just doing the first layer. Got some of this. This was a freebie, I think, by Louise Hansel when they did it's a couple of years old now, but it was a freebie from Defemerember, I believe. I could be wrong. So, yep, just getting the paper down. Let me just check everything's fine there. Yeah, good. Don't want bubbles. If you get air bubbles, if you can avoid it, you know, you make sure that's where you need to get plenty of. I can see that there's air bubbles in there. I'm going to try and get rid of them. Okay, good. And right, what else? So I'm using up certain papers for the background, and then I'm going to add other papers, more sort of precious papers if you like, for the top. I'm just thinking I'm going to use some of this. And I'll put that there. So yeah, dried flowers, leaves, things like that are going to be the focal point. But in the meantime, you know, the important thing is to get a base down, and then we can add whatever on top, stamping whatever we want on top. And then last of all, the flowers or the leaves, whatever you've got. So I've got some dried flowers that I really need to use up. They're almost unrecognizable, they're so old. And I will be making more, pressing more flowers this year. So I don't really need to keep them. It's a bit, I don't need them as such. Try and get some of that down. Right, that's my first coat down, my first layer. I really want to try and, there, I'm happy with that. Right, now, so the next thing is I'm going to just bring my papers that I consider more precious and decorative. So that's not precious, but I like that. So I'm going to use those. Some book page there. I might use a bit more of that once I've got my layers down. So, right, now here I've also got some of my jelly prints, so I might use some of those as well. So I've been looking at using those up. Right, so I'm just going to take a look. What do I need to do? Get that, push that down as much as possible. I don't know how well air bubbles happen anyway, don't they? But they bug me. So just pop that in water actually. Right, so I probably need to let this dry, and then I can add things over the top. But these are the sort of papers that I'll be adding over the top, something like this, a little bit more decorative. So I'm just going to let that dry a little bit. I'm going to have a sip of my tea if that's all right. Oh, it's a messy slurp. And then I have these. I haven't used, oops, oh dear. I haven't used these for a while, a long time actually. I just thought I'd maybe make some textures using them. So I'll get some paints out and do that. Let's have a look. I'm going to use these, I think. These are going to be my paints I can use for going on with this? There we go, that's better. Right, let me just check. Right, I'm just going to dry this off and then I will be back. Hi, back again. So I'm going to use my gesso for this little bit. So I'm just going to, I feel that it needs to be brought together a little bit. Just the edges, because you might see some of this in the background. So I have dried the paper a little bit. It's I don't want it completely covered, I just want edges of it covered, if you know what I mean. There we go, that's all I need, that's literally all I needed. Just something to bring it in, I suppose, a little bit. And get rid of the edges a little bit. Right, good. That's what I want, and that's what I've got. I'll pop that lid back on. Oh, it's nice to have my voice back. Yesterday was horrible. It was not nice. Now, see, I should have put my cover down because I'm already getting gesso on now. Right, now I can put a few pieces of paper down, even though the gesso is still wet, because I can use it to my advantage as a glue to help me put them things down. I'm not going to put big pieces, I'm just going to put little pieces down. Whoops, oh well. That's where it landed, that's where it's going. So this is just adding pieces of colour. Use that sparingly. I love this paper. It's is it mulberry paper? I need to find some because I don't have any more. Actually, I think I want it there. There, and let's have a look. I'll put in another piece of this because I do think it's good to have you know, pieces that coordinate with the, it's sort of a, I don't know, balancing thing. It balances when you have a couple of pieces that are the same colour, especially in a chaotic sort of picture. And I'm not saying this is chaotic, but it might end up chaotic. I don't know. Let's see. Right, so I've got those two pieces. What else? A piece of this. Yes, I like that there. A bit more of this. And then I'll dry it off again, and then I will so I'm not being careful about it, just popping it down, and then I will put some drawing and what have you on the top, and then we'll look at the flowers and see what we can make of it. So I'm quite happy with that. I would like some of this. No, hang on, let's have a look. What about some of this? So this is the jelly print. So what I was going to do today, I was going to do different colours from the jelly, yeah, like that there. From, you know, I was going to suggest that we do collage paintings that we can use, so sort of in one colour. So let's, you know, say we want to use blue, then we would make up a number of blue pages in blue to have on hand, and then, you know, can make orange and green, and I'm just sort of trying to bring about, you know, more materials for us to use in our projects, and rather than, you know, so we've got them on hand basically. Now I can do that on the jelly print, but I thought it would be nice to do some, if people don't have jelly print, then I thought it'd be nice to do some on, I love that, on I'm gonna put a little bit more down, just a bit down here, because it might end up getting covered up, but no, I'll put it here. But it'll probably end up getting covered up, but we'll see. Tissue paper won't be controlled. So I'm going to dry this out. Oh, do I want to put anything else on? No, not at this stage, I think. Yeah, I'm going to dry it off. I'm going to pause you. Back again. Right, so I've got some paints out. I'm just going to... oh, I should have got a sponge or something. Let me think. I'm going to do this. I will just going to spread some of the paint out. In fact, what I could do is just put the paint on top. Now I don't know if this is going to work, but we'll see. I think it will, but pretty sure it will actually. Just going to mix a bit of that in with it as well. Right, let's see how this works. I'm just going to stand up and put... Okay, that works. I think I might add... No, I've already got that blue. I don't need to add any more. I'm going to add another one. This time I'm going to put more of the gold on. So I've just got grey and gold at the moment. Add a bit more of the grey because I want to mix it up. Yeah, put a bit more gold on here. Right, see if this will produce something that we like. Down here. Good. It missed off some, but it doesn't matter. That's okay. I wonder if I can get a ghost print. Or a second one. No, not there. Here. I mean, it depends what's underneath your book as well to get a good print. Okay, I've got a bit of a print there. Right, so we'll leave that. Let's see, how about this? I'm going to do this in black. Am I? No, I'm not. I'm not going to use black. Okay, I'm going to leave that. Yeah, I'm going to leave that. So, just going to have a sip of tea while I think about what I'm going to do next. It's going cold. Don't want to bombard it because flowers are, you know, they're not going to be too dominating, so we need to be careful. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to add some gesso to the darker bits, because otherwise the flowers will get lost in the you know, in some of the papers. So I'm just going to try and soften that line, because it's okay, but I think it would do with being softened a little bit. Oh dear, I've got paint in my I'm going to soften that a little bit, and that. Good. I'm going to leave a little bit. I don't want to take, you know, take it all away, but Right, so that's enough, I think. So the other thing you can do is look at your, whatever it is you're making, if it's a picture or a painting, whatever, you can turn it around and look at it from the opposite direction and see how, you see that to me is even prettier. Do we want pretty? You know, we're making a picture with flowers, so I don't know. What do you think? Another thing I want in here is some paper from a newspaper. I just think I've got a smaller piece here. I thought I had. Oh, how about, I didn't see, forgot about this. So we did this last week, so I think I'm going to rip a little bit of this off. How about some of this? Yes, right. Let me just put some, I need to think about where I'm going to put this. Oops, wires in my way. Right, let me think. I think I'm going to put it here. Now this is black, obviously, so, but it, again, it just adds some texture. And it's nice to use something that I've already worked on. There you go. Okay, that will do. And we have got writing on there, so I think I should put that there. Yes. So I won't use the newspaper. And we'll put this here. There we go. Right, okay, so I'm just going to put my, I think I've done enough paintings. I'm just going to move that out of the way. Hopefully I won't stand in it. I'll just move it. My room, I would say I'll give you a tour of my room, but it would just horrify you, so I'm not going to do that. It would probably send some of you into a spin, and also scar you for life. It's that bad. Yes, it is that bad. Have a look. Just looking to see if there's anything else I want to use. No, I think we're done with those papers. But I wanted these. Now, so like I said, I'll just let that, move that over a little bit to dry. So like I said, you know, these are the things, I'm just going to move it completely out of the way now. These are the things that we can use. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to start ripping. The reason I'm using this at the moment, what I'll do is I'll put some other types of flowers of my own dried flowers on the top. But I'm using this in case you don't have dried flowers, and also I think it would be a nice background. Now I am going to fussy cut. I was only doing that to, not fussy cut, fussy rip, fussy tear. Maybe I should cut it, because I'm making a bit of a mess of it. I'm going to try cutting it. If I don't use this one, I can use it for something else. So I'm going to fussy cut it. Instead, and then we'll see. I think it will be better. Here's that control. The reason I'm pointing it out is because, you know, when, you know, we're not trying to create masterpiece works of art. We're just creating mixed media, you know, and mixed media is art. However, and we don't need to get serious about it. However, I do think it's worth looking at your work and just you know, reflecting on it and thinking about what it is you're trying to achieve in a particular piece. It doesn't have to be anything heavy or, you know, reflective, or it just, you know, gives you an opportunity to think, right, so next time I'm going to do it like this, because, you know, I've learned something from this and now I want to try something different. So it is worth looking at your work. I'm going to leave that little letter on there. Okay, and it's nice using these instead of, you know, those fussy cut flowers that we use in our junk journals. It's nice to use something a little bit different. And if you've got books that you know, scared of ripping up, and this is a good one. It's a good one because there are so many of these, and they're you know, there's loads of them, and they're cheap to buy, very cheap, like £2 or £3, maybe a bit more. Right, I love that. So I'll do two. There's some more. Let's have a look. What have we got here? I might do a yellow one. Just for brightness. I was out in the garden this morning just briefly looking. Saw one of my roses is really struggling. I'm not sure why. So I've had to cut it back a bit. Now, you know, it's not the season to cut roses, but I've done it in the past and they do tend to come, you know, produce better flowers, even though, I mean, it isn't flowering at all. There's no flowering buds or nothing. So, and it should be. And it's such a pretty rose. It's a tiny, very pale pink climbing rose. So, yeah, I'm a bit disappointed that it's done that, but for whatever reason, just not healthy. Whereas my other roses are doing really well. I am back. So what I've been doing is I've dried it and I just put those on there to see what they look like, and I think they're really effective because of their dark background and also the colours against the sort of paler colours that I've put together there. So would be interesting to use those. And then I have a number of dried flowers here. So these are the ones that I want to use up because they'll never get used otherwise. You know, they're dried to the point where they'll never be used. Right, so I'm definitely going to cut some more out. Oh, Lily of the Valley. So I have Lily of the Valley coming up now. I don't know about you, but it's one of my favourite plants. I've got lots of favourite plants. They're all my favourite. But yes, it's coming up now, right now. And because I think I mentioned, or maybe I didn't, but yeah, I've got a whole new set of wooden planters that are going in for my shady woodlandy type plants. So on my Instagram page that I mentioned yesterday, I posted this morning about sweet woodruff, because when I went out I could smell it when I went into my garden at the back. I've got sweet woodruff growing and I can smell it, and I just thought, oh wow, yeah, that's, you know, isn't that lovely? It's ready, and so I will be picking some. I will be using it in my teas, and I will also be drying it, so I'm going to have a fresh tea with it later on. See how that really is very effective. So yeah, I'm going to be I wish I hadn't cut that off, but I had no choice. So let's do this little pink one just to give a little pop of colour. So what was I saying? Yes, I'm going to be having a cup of tea with the fresh flowers and leaves later on when I'm relaxing, because it's a bit of a sedative, so it will help to relax my nervous system. And you know, when I've had a busy day, I might feel like I need something like that, so I'm going to pop that in my tea, and then I'll make a tea of it rather, and then I'm going to pick some for drying. So the scent of sweetwood rough increases when it dries. So the compound in it, you know, once it's dried, it's sort of more potent. It's not a hugely powerful smell, but it's sweet enough to have been used in medieval times. There's a strewing herb, which was herbs that they put on floors and in bedding and things like that, in stuffed mattresses with them, because it was a sweet smelling herb. And so a bit like, let me think. See, I love that. Again, should I have them coming down like that? I think I would if it was a, you know, let me see if I can find a climbing herb, a climbing flower. Oh, they've got herbs on my book. This is the book. Let's see if we've got something that looks to me like it's all upright herbs and flowers. Yes, so it's I'm not sure why you wouldn't have a climbing. Oh, I've taken a page off there. Oh yeah, it's one of these. I mean, I guess if I cut some leaves, then they could become trailing down. Right, I think I'm going to use this page. I'm going to pull it out. It's not very bright, but I'm thinking to use that hanging down. So let's see. And then I'll look at the other ones in a minute. Let's see how we go. Right, so I'll just try and cut it without damaging too much of the other ones. Okay, so it would need to come from this side, which I'm actually could have it like this. That's nice. I'm going to put that. So I'm going to start gluing it down, because that's perfect there. So I'm happy with that. Now I use of this instead. Because it's not working, so it's just too much of the, you know, whatever gesso and what have you in there. So actually it might be a good idea to use this anyway, because it will, you know, it's matte medium, so it will hopefully look a little bit more matte. Okay, my paintbrush was too wet, so that's a bit of a mistake. Okay. Right, let's position the other ones. I mean, you could use stickers for this, you know, you don't have to use I think I'll put that there. Have I got any more? I feel like it's a bit overcrowded here. Not sure about that one actually. Maybe that one goes there. So first things first, we will put this little one down because it goes underneath that one. I'm going to put that one down first. Oops. Okay. Hope this is going to work. I feel like it's not. No. If the edges come off, I'll just put them some stronger glue down there. The matte medium will hopefully give it, you know, take away some of the shininess. Right, so we're looking at the big one coming down first. I might as well just put this everywhere. I love this one. Yeah, I mean, some of the edges I don't think are going to stick. They might, but it would be nice to have had more. I'll see if I can find another plant to trail down, but I won't subject you to waiting for me to do that. I think it's enough that you can see what it is I'm trying to achieve, and you might want to do it yourself. And then you could cut it, if you put lots of flowers on, you could cut it up into whatever you want to use in your journals if you want to do that. It doesn't have to be, you know, just to stay in your mixed media sketchbook. It can be, you can use it wherever. Which was, I think, was in my mind when I wanted to do this. I think that's what I had in mind to use in your, rather than stay in your sketchbook, I think it was to use in journals. Yeah, I'm going to leave that, and I might put some writing there or something. So I'm going to let that dry. Just if I leave, I think it tends to, if you leave the marks on it, you know, the brush marks on it, I think they tend to stay on. Really happy with this. I love it. Hello. I just wanted to come back on because I had to leave. I realised I had an appointment at my GP, and so I had to rush off as quick as I possibly could to get to to get to my appointment. I wanted to add my dried flowers, and so off camera, because I can't remember what happened, but anyway, I had to do something, and then I realised that the camera wasn't running, but I'd added my dried flowers. So yeah, that's what I've done, and so I thought I'd just show you before, so because you know you wouldn't have seen. Yeah, so I've added different layers of dried flowers to this. I think it looks much better than it did actually. Yeah, lots of layers of dried flowers, and also I did some I used some pencils around the edges just to darken the edges in a few places, just to give it definition really. Yeah, so I'm really happy. So it's got a little flower here, it's got a leaf there, a nice little hydrangea there, and it's got a flower here and another one there. Two little yellow flowers, golden flowers. That's golden as well, Ollie, you can't really tell, and then a blue one there. And then of course it has these at the back still, which are still visible. And then yeah, so 2 here, and then I've got a hydrangea here. I did actually put this flower on, the darker flower on in the end anyway, because I was going to do it and then I decided not to, but then I changed my mind again. And then this little cluster of flowers, I mean, you can see they're, you know, they haven't got much definition left within them, and they're quite raggedy. Let's call them raggedy flowers. This one's really nice. That worked out really well. And another leaf here. So yeah, I mean, I'm pleased with how it looks now. That this one here is still visible, and this pretty flower here, and then the yellow flowers there. There's a pink flower there as well. So they're all the flowers and plants. Is that one's still visible? So yeah, I mean, you know, and I love the background, as I said. I really like the writing on it. I wanted to do some writing. I might do some writing up here. I might journal on here and talk about the flowers, you know, what type of flowers they are, and or maybe just do little labels. That might be quite nice, actually. I might label them. In fact, I will do that. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. So anyway, I just wanted to come on and show you it before, so that, you know, I can finish the video and then upload it for this evening. So, you know, there's some takeaways from this. You know, it's got a nice background with using collage and gesso and paint, some little stamping, which I love the fact that that's still visible. It's got some writing here. You know, I like it. I love this. This is from the jelly print. So I think next week I'll put it out there now. As long as everything's okay, I will do some jelly print. So, you know, I'll do something like that. But I love that. I think it's so nice. So yeah, I hope you like it anyway. I love this golden bit here as well. You know, I think the background was really lovely. So I'm happy, you know, 70% happy with it. So there you go. I think it's just that 2D element, and the flowers do give it a bit of a 3D element. If I lift it up, maybe you can see that. I don't know if you can or not, but yeah. Anyway, I won't go on and on. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and take care, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.